here, but why don't we talk about Jada and Will and Ricky Gervais? Because obviously this week has not been filled with more than enough shit. But before we dive into this, I was just sent this. I didn't see this here. Michael Rappaport put this on his TikTok, talking about apparently this is Jada's reaction to the slap. I have not seen this angle, you guys.
Is this legit?
This is, as far as I know, legit. I mean, Michael Rappaport posted it, but then again, he's, I don't know. So let's
shared a shit ton.
Yeah, let's see what they say here. I haven't seen this yet.
Most people have not seen. Look at Jada's reaction.
Wow, dude. It was a G.I. Jane. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I'm going to, okay? So I can go. That was the greatest night in the history of television. Okay. So we are here to give a documentary.
Is she Was she laughing?
I think
most people have not seen.
Let's see. I mean, it's a little bit glitchy on that. Yeah.
Yeah, she bopped her head forward. And then she just got really quiet.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's really hard to tell because you just seen the behind.
Right, but look at the cameraman right fucking there. The camera guy right there, right? That's what I'm talking about, man. They have the reverse angle.
From this distance, they are so close together. Like this is like I thought there was more walking distance. Like they're like right there on top of each other.
Yeah, they're pretty close together. It looks bigger than it is, right? It looks these when I went to the MTV Movie Awards back in 2008, it was a small theater. And this was in Universal Studios. I forget the name of the theater, but they shoot it to make it look bigger than it is, but it's really not very big. But yeah, I mean, obviously this looks like Jada, is at least like enjoying the drama. Obviously, like,
unless she thought he was just messing around. It wasn't serious. I don't know.
I don't know.
She did get quiet once he started yelling.
Yeah, she did, but it's also at that point in time, it was like it's crazy. I mean, there's a lot going on. I mean, it's like, I agree with H-Barts here. I think Jada had a very big hand in this. And then there's also the red table stuff that happened too. Like that was when they talked about the infidelity, which is what brings us to Ricky Gervais here. And Ricky Gervais, he decided to chime in a little bit with this whole situation. But first, I wanted to kind of quickly bring up this little point here. Daniel Radcliffe, I just want to say, has the right idea. I'm not Daniel Radcliffe, though. But when asked about his thoughts on it, he says, I'm already dramatically bored of hearing people's opinions about it, that I don't want to be another opinion adding to it. And he's right. He's right. A lot of people, not everyone needs to chime on in, make a point. I get that. But you know what? That's not me. And that's not Gervais. Because I've been talking about this all fucking week because I'm still very much pissed off at it. And but this thing made me laugh really, really hard. So according to this New York Post article here, after Will Smith infamously smacked Chris Rock at the 2022 Oscars, Twitter debated whether the incident would have happened if Ricky Gervais would have been in Rock's shoes. Well, the British comic recently weighed in, claiming he wouldn't have mocked Jada Pinkett's hair loss as Rock had done, but rather targeted her open relationship. So while performing in London, the 60-year-old star says, I'll get it out of the way. I haven't got any Will Smith material. Going on to say, I trended when that happened and I was not even there. He says, people were going, what would have happened if Ricky Gervais had been doing it? And then he says this. He says, well, nothing, says Gervais. As I would not have made a joke about his wife's hair, I would have made a joke about her boyfriend.
Oh, jeez. God damn.
And then, of course, it goes on to explain this here. It says the comedian is likely referring to 50-year-old Jada's entanglement with much younger singer August Alsina, 29, who claimed to have had an intense affair with the actress. After years of rumors flying around about what had actually gone down, Will admitted last September that he and his wife were in an open relationship. However, Gervais did seem to poke fun at the hair joke following the Academy Award when he retweeted an old alopecia bit from The Office. Now, one person on Twitter just says, "You can fuck my wife, but keep her name out your mouth." Dude, the memes of this thing are fantastic.
Yes, they are.
The memes are fantastic. But this is the other part of this too. So this is where things are getting a little bit on the crazy side, because it is kind of a he said, she said. We don't fully know what to believe at this point. Variety was reporting that, according to sources within the Academy, they had asked Will Smith to leave. Will Smith had refused. Now, TMZ is coming out with counter reporting saying that the Academy lied about asking him to leave. And in fact, so what we were talking about on the night of is that they were trying to figure it out as the show was going, what they were doing. It wasn't like within 5 minutes of him slapping Chris Rock was he brought up, right? It wasn't, it wasn't like right away did he win the award. It wasn't like 5 minutes later, it was about 30 minutes after the slapping incident that he was up on stage. But here's what we found out. According to TMZ, Will Packer, who was the showrunner of the Oscars, walked up to Will Smith just after 8 p.m., around 35 minutes after the slap. And that's when he told Will he could stay. According to our sources, Will won the Best Actor award 5 minutes later.
So did they ask him to leave or not?
Well, that's
the question.
They're saying that they didn't ask him to leave. Other people were saying that they didn't ask him to leave. But then Will Packer apparently did this. But what does this tell you? What this tells you that, because, okay, listen, they knew Will Smith was going to win Best Actor. They knew this.
Well, they would have had to have known.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously.
Well, maybe not, though, because sometimes they don't know until the ballots are like, well, the higher-ups would have known, I think.
Will Packer would have known. Will Packer would have known. He was the guy in charge of the Oscars. He would have known. I think I don't.
People didn't know about La La Land, right?
So. Well, no, the La La Land thing, that was a mix-up with the people who were handling the envelopes, and so like the people on the stage weren't going to know, but the people, the higher ups were going to know. That's how that whole thing came out. It was funnier than shit, and that's a great Oscar moment. But this is one of those things where the people 5 minutes, like if Will Packer, okay, so let's say the Board of Governors, all right. Mm-hmm. The Board of Governors, the people at the top, those are the ones who, by the way, hand out the honorary Oscars, the non-Twitter poll Oscars, by the way. Just want to make that abundantly clear. The non-Twitter poll Oscars, those aren't real Oscars. Those are like, cheap knockoffs you buy in Hollywood Boulevard. But the people who give out all the stuff, they oversee it all. They probably were the ones arguing about it. They knew that Will was going to win. Having him not be there without a person ready, a surrogate there to like make a speech for him, especially after that thing, was going to be difficult. I mean, they were in very much a no-win situation. You know what I mean? They were in a no-win situation. I still think they should have done the right thing and had LAPD remove him from the premises. I do. I think that. I'm sorry. I do. I'm not. That's not a bad fucking take.
The optics of the situation, though, right? I mean, like. Yeah, the majority white, board says, okay, LAPD, go arrest this one of the most famous and most beloved black actors ever, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the right call ultimately.
Well, but it doesn't matter. The optics would have been we still watched him slap somebody else. We still watched him physically assault somebody else. That's the point, right? Like that's the point.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think they're gonna do when they have the meeting? Because they're talking about suspension, expulsion, etc.
So I said last night a lifetime ban seems appropriate.
Lifetime
ban, because this is not. Look, if Will Smith would have like mouthed off from the audience and been like, keep her name out your fucking mouth, and if that's all he would have done, I could have seen a slap on the wrist, maybe a fine, maybe a year suspension for disrupting the show. All right, for disrupting it verbally. And upsetting the production. All right. I could see that being a slap on the wrist. You're off for the next year. That's, that's the optics of it. He got up. He walked, the 7 seconds he had in his mind, walked up to Chris Rock and slapped him. Mm-hmm. And then turned around and walked the 7 seconds back to his chair and sat down. He had time to think. He had time to process. He had time to actually think about what he had done in the moment. Before leading up to it, it wasn't like they were 2 feet away from each other and in a reaction, he smacked him. He had time to process what he was doing. He got up there with a mission. So it's a crime of passion. It's misdemeanor battery. It's a crime of passion, but he had time to think about what he was doing. And then he had time to think about it after it was over. And he still chose to not apologize to Chris 35 minutes later when he actually had his award in his hand. And he's saying, I'm a vessel for love. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I think a lifetime ban is appropriate. I think it's appropriate. I do, because this is something where you physically assaulted somebody. You went too far. There's got to be consequences.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's ridiculous not having any level of security, though. That's the other thing.
Well, no one's fucking expecting it. Right?
Yeah, but just for protection's sake. I mean, I don't expect, well, look at the movie theater, for example. They have security guards there. I'm not expecting anything to happen to the movie theater, but they're still there just in case.
Oh, they're there. You'd be amazed at what goes on. But yeah, the thing is, though, it's again, look, I'll kind of explain it to you like this. Cops are not preventative. They are response. That's what they are, right? Cops are not a preventative measure. They are meant to respond when things happen. You hope that they are going to be a deterrent if they're visible and they're present. But the reality of it is cops aren't preventative because they don't have mind, they don't have mind, thought control. They don't have mind control. They don't have, telepathy. They don't have any of that stuff. They don't have, mind crimes don't exist. That whole Minority Report isn't a real thing. Mm. So they don't know where they need to be. Now, you would hope that maybe one would be there, one would be able to intervene and be preventative. But in reality, that's a very, very, very minor amount of when things go down because cops are always brought in after the fact. Or it's you call 911 when something is going down. How far away is a cop? Are they able to get there fast enough? Are they going to, there's a lot of stuff there. You hope. But in many instances, the authorities are there to be a response to something, not to outright prevent it. And that is, it is what it is. But I do think when it comes to the whole Will Smith thing, I do think it's possible that he is going to end up getting suspended for a while. And
you think he'd be suspended? Or you think he's just going to be fined?
I think he's going to be. He's going to be suspended and fined. But I also think that he is going to, I'm wondering what's going to be happening with what's it called? With the SAG. Because if Screen Actors Guild comes out and the Screen Actors Guild says, hey, yeah, we're going to absolutely kind of bump you for right now. Then he's not going to be able to work. He's not going to be able to, he won't be able to go and do anything. And then it's entirely possible that even though he won Best Actor, companies may not want to insure him. There's going to be,
which would be tragic. I mean, I don't think he should be barred from working ever again.
No, I don't think he should be barred from working ever again. But what I mean by that is there are going to be long-term ramifications to his career and potentially long-term ramifications to Jada Pinkett's career. And
Jada's going to be affected?
Yes, dude, this is a ripple effect. This is a ripple effect, dude.
But Jada really didn't do anything, though. I mean,
well, she also didn't not do anything. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
She's like the woman. How do I put this? I'm trying to be sensitive here, but it's she wasn't the aggressor. Her husband was.
No. But what I mean by that is, are people going to want to hire them after this? Are you as a producer looking to fill the seat? Are you going to want to deal with this? That becomes the question. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Is, bringing that, because again, Will Smith said recently, Will Smith said recently that Jaden is currently training to join something big, and people think it's Miles Morales.
I would hope not. He's too old.
Well, no, he's like 21.
Yeah, but Miles should be like a younger kid, like in like their like 13 to like 16 range, you know?
No, they're gonna want Miles. No, Miles is gonna be 16, 17 presented in film. The actor will probably end up being like 19 or 20. That's kind of the average how this stuff goes because there's working conditions. If you're a minor under the age,
I don't know if like they're gonna want Jaden as Miles though after this.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Is like that's what I mean by the ripple effect. Now, Sony with Morbius probably coming out and like not doing very well, they might look at this and go, "We could maybe get him on the cheap." But at the same time, again, like this thing has the tendency of really being bad, and a lot of people, you know, having thoughts on it that might go. There might be a long lasting bit with that. So anyway,
time will tell.
Time will absolutely tell on this one here.